Hey there, it's Cormac from Domfluent. In this video today, I want to break down the exact reasons why we see gyms fail over and over and over again. And it's usually the same exact reasons time and time again. So, as I said in this video, I'm going to cover the main reasons, the main bottlenecks that stop gyms or that we see stopping them from actually growing, and this failure loop that leads them back to the same problem, which isn't really the true problem. So the main point of this training is to cover the problem solving continuum. So most people right here, they have a perceived problem. Their business isn't growing, they're not scaling, they're not hitting their targets, whatever it may be. And usually they identify this back to, we're not getting enough new customers. So in this scenario, let's say you're a business, you're not growing, and you've identified you're not getting enough leads, or your perceived problem is you're not getting enough leads. What this usually leads people to is a point of cause that isn't really the true point of cause. So instead of them identifying the problem, they're now looking at a problem that is a perceived point of cause. So business isn't growing is the perceived problem, or not getting enough customers. Perceived point of cause is I'm not getting enough leads. The root cause of that is maybe I'm not running enough ads, or my marketing agency isn't performing, whatever it may be. But what we want to do is flip that, right? And this is from the Toyota way of thinking. So if you look at them, they're a business that's been, internationally recognized for their efficiency and their ability to operate on lean production. So the systems, the processes, and the feedback loops they have in place to enable them to compete with much bigger Ford and General Motors and these type of people, with a percentage or a minute percentage of the workforce and so on. So when we look at the perceived problem, what we want to do is exploration of the perceived problem usually uncovers a larger problem. So we had this scenario with a gym recently where they were never hitting their 40 new members per month target, and they were consistently losing members. So we'd get to 25, 30 members, which, as anyone in the gym industry knows who's running semi-private PT, is a decent amount of clients to be bringing on board every month. If we're bringing on that many, we can't be losing that many, So with that, what that allowed us to do, perceived problem was business isn't growing, we're not hitting our growth targets. But when we led to the exploration of that problem, we uncovered a larger problem, which was that their churn was at 15%. Now, unless you're tracking all your metrics, this makes it very, very hard to do this. But what that uncovered was the true problem. From that true problem, we were then able to understand many different solutions we could have. We could look at the customer journey, we could look at the sales process, we could look at the pricing model, we could look at the coaching structure, we could look at all of these different variables. And this, from uncovering the true problem, now gave us a lot bigger impact that we could have. Instead of solving a perceived point of cause, instead of solving something we think was wrong, we properly explored the problem. And this comes back to data collection and why it's so important. So why I'm bringing all this up is the different solutions then lead you to proper points of cause. So if we're trying to solve the sales process, we're trying to solve the exit process, the customer journey, the transition from 6-week to back-end program, we can then identify the exact location where those problems occur and build systems, processes, and place people to solve those problems. And that gives us root causes, and solving will correct the true problems. This directly influences the true problem. Now, I want to bring this down to the gap, and something that we focus on massively here at Domfluent. So when we look at the problem and we look at the root causes of those problems, oftentimes people make an assumption on one area. So they feel like the big thing that's needed to solve their problem is just more marketing. Now, in some cases this is true, but in most cases it's not. Really, it's a combination of solving multiple parts of the gap. So, and to give you an example, every gym that we work with wants to get to 40, 50K per month, have an autonomous cash flowing gym that's profitable, that they can sit above, and that makes it, allows them to focus on their product development or their staff training or whatever they really like as a business owner. Maybe it's still taking classes. But really what we know from those gyms is it's a combination of nailing all of these, not just finding a marketing agency, or not just finding a head coach, or not just, you know, getting your retention below 5%, not just having a system and infrastructure that the business runs on, not just having a sales process that automatically converts at 40-50% from lead to new customer. It's a combination of all those things. And really, when we tie it back to, from a gym perspective, from a fitness business perspective, if you were trying to take someone here who was overweight, who was, you know, not happy, and you wanted to get them to a healthy life, an enjoyable, you know, personal life, and you wanted to get them results, and you wanted to get them satisfaction, it's, you know full well it's not going to be the training that does that. You know full well it's not just going to be hydration, accountability, community, nutrition, but all of these things together will allow them to achieve that problem. So when you're looking at your problem solving continuum, and when you're looking at the perceived problems within your business, try to identify the larger problem. Map out all the solutions. So what we call them is failure scenarios. So what are all the hypothetical failure scenarios? In this case, a customer doesn't value the product. A customer didn't get their follow-up after 6 weeks. A customer didn't get their 3-week check-in. A customer didn't XYZ. And what that then provides you is solutions to those problems so you can preempt them so those failure scenarios never happen. So by going around this and really looking at your perceived problems within your business, those points of recognition, what are the bigger problems, and how can you map out all the failure scenarios of that, then identify where those failure scenarios are in your business, and then solving those root causes, implementing processes, people, systems, and solving that true problem. And that true problem can be across any part of the gap. That's why we as a business want to solve as much of this gap between 20, 25, 30, 40k per month business owner and a 50k, you know, either single location or multi-location business owner who has an autonomous cash flowing facility that runs itself, that has a great team structure, and that covers, from a gym's perspective, as much of this gap as possible. So you've got really low retention, you've got really high value. So I hope that you found this video useful. If you're looking into this, there's a couple of books around the Toyota way of thinking. It's been a widely researched business, and just really dig into your business. A lot of it is just a little bit below the surface level in terms of what you need to solve. It's not always just fueling the fire. It's not always just getting new customers, new leads that sell more people. Because really, if you're not solving any other part of the gap, the sales process, the retention, the people, then the marketing in isolation is completely useless. So if you're wondering how to solve the gap, if you want to really understand the points of recognition and the true problems within your business, I'd be more than happy to run you through that. But what I would recommend is mapping out all the failure scenarios within your business. You know, a coach doesn't feel valued. We don't get in front of enough people. Our sales process doesn't have enough touch points. So all of these failure scenarios, start mapping out all of the solutions to these failure scenarios, and what that solution consists of. Is it a person? Is it a system? Is it a marketing tool? Is it a software? List those in priority and get to work, become a better business, solve more of the problem, and ultimately become the number one in your area, become an autonomous 50k per month cash flowing gym business. So hope you found this video useful. I really like to take lessons from the Toyotas, the big companies of the world, and distill them down into small local businesses so that we can do better, be better, and ultimately provide more impact and get what we want from the businesses that we have put our whole lives into. So hope you found it useful. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.